Trying to log mom on.
The Wi-Fi.
Well, hello, everybody. It's about 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna hop on and get started here. Thanks for everyone for joining live. If you're not joining live and you're catching the recording, welcome. My name is Jillian Leslie, and I am a part of this wonderful doTERRA team of panelists that you're going to be seeing over the next few weeks as we continue kind of teaching and sharing about these oils. I'm not just a wellness advocate, I'm also a nutritionist. So I have a degree in nutrition from Brushing University just here in London, and excited to talk to you guys today about nutrition and supplements and what doTERRA has to offer in that area. So I'm really excited to be with you, and I hope that you find this of value. So I'm gonna pop right in and share my screen here if I can coordinate myself. Bear with me. Okay. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about nutrition. doTERRA has so much to offer in terms of all of our health solutions. And today in particular, we're going to be talking about some of the other areas outside of your oils that you have and love already, I'm sure, and how we can further support our wellness and our health overall as we dive into the area of nutrition. Now, before I start, I just want to kind of, disclaimer, when I talk about supplements, some people are divided. Some people kind of, are on the fence about whether they should supplement or shouldn't supplement. At the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for you and your health concerns. If you have any, ailments specifically that you need to consider, always keep that in the back of your mind. This is really just about sharing information for each and every one of you to make an informed decision on your health and your healthcare. At the end of the day, we are, in charge of a lot of things, and we have control over many things that can support our health and our well-being. So I just wanted to kind of share that and just kind of state that before we dive in. So to start, I kind of just want you guys to think about, what are some things that come to mind when you think of your nutrition and your wellness? And some key questions, right off the hop are, why do you think people around us or ourselves or people that are in our families are so sick nowadays? There's a lot of ailments out there, from heart disease and diabetes, and there's so many things that we're dealing with right now. We really want to kind of think about why that might be and what can't we control, what can we control. And then the other question that's really important to be asking is, do you think that we're getting enough nutrients from the food that we actually are consuming? And so that's where supplementation can sometimes come in and play a really key role. So we know that nutrition is foundational. I'm sure that's not a surprise to anybody. I'm sure it's not brand new news. So some of the information that you're going to hear today, you may have heard a million times before. So I just really want to encourage you to keep an open mind as we talk about some options and some solutions that might help you. I think in terms of nutrition, what we often think about is just the food and just, we think of health as numbers and scales and all of those quantitative data. But really, at the end of the day, nutrition is so foundational because it helps support so many areas of our health. And when we can offer that support across the board with our nutrition, we're setting ourselves up, excuse me, for success. We're setting our bodies up to, be able to function as optimally as possible with or without disease. So this isn't about being disease-free. Some people do have ailments that aren't going to go away. If you have a heart disease in your family, you might be more prone to that. So when we're talking about it, this is nutrition as a foundation for anybody. It's not just for the healthy or to, cure every disease and ailment. It's foundational no matter what. And I think that is really important to understand. I feel like so often messages kind of come and you think, well, that's for a certain group of people. That's not for me because I have A, B, and C ailments, but it is for you. So nutrition and that foundation is for everybody. So it plays such a role in so many areas of our lives. Energy, our mental clarity, mental health and wellness. There's so much research coming out right now about that connection of our nutrition and our lifestyle habits on our mental health and well-being, which is really interesting. It supports our heart health, like I've mentioned before, gut health. It helps to prevent some nutrient deficiencies, which might seem odd because we have so much access to food right now, but it's not always going to be the most nutrient-rich foods that we can put in our bodies. So nutrient deficiencies do actually happen, maybe not quite as often in our society, but it's still something to think about and talk to your doctor about even. Proper nutrition also supports our growth and development, and that's not just for our little ones. We grow and we develop as we age. There's nutrition throughout our whole life cycle. There's growth and changes in our bodies throughout our life. And especially, I think, as women, we go through so many different hormonal changes, and we forget that those are growth and development. That's our body changing and aging. And so our needs will change over time. They don't just stay the same. So it's really important for that as well. And it can also help prevent some of those lifestyle diseases that we're seeing so prevalent in our society today, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, all of those things that can, in some cases, be prevented through lifestyle changes. And it also helps, when we do get sick, because inevitably we are going to get sick from time to time. Nobody's health is perfect all the time. We all get run down from time to time. So having that foundation, might not stop you from getting sick and being, ill-free all the time, but it can help us with that recovery. It can help our immune systems to fight off whatever we might, come down with. So that's just kind of the reality of our well-being, right? So, going back to kind of what we measure our health by is a combination of so many things. So some people think of health, and I touched on it briefly before, but some people kind of look at the scales, the weight, the numbers. But I really want to encourage you to look at your health overall. And I feel like if you're here and you've recently signed up with doTERRA, you're starting to think about that. You're starting to realize that your health is all-encompassing. It's kind of like a wheel, and nutrition is one of those spokes in that wheel. Reducing the toxic load and using your essential oils, those are all things that are going to help support your health and well-being. But when in terms specifically with the nutrients that we put in our body, we can measure our health, and we can measure that feeling of well-being by our energy levels, our mental clarity, and that brain fog. We can look at, yes, our food intake and what are we putting into our bodies. It also, health also is about how we manage our stress. And what does that have to do with nutrition? Well, sometimes when we're stressed, there's people who either undereat and we don't take care of our bodies that way, or we overeat and we eat foods that are sugary, carbs, maybe not the best for our overall well-being. That would be my category. Eat lots of chocolate M&Ms and goodies in the beginning of all of this because it was stressful. So it all ties in together. And even our exposure to toxins and chemicals and and things that really shouldn't be in our food systems or in our bodies. So there's many ways that we can look and approach our health and well-being. When it comes to your individual health though, you still want to take a look at what you can control. So things that we can't control are our DNA. You know, some of us have a family history of ailments that we can't necessarily prevent. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get, you know, heart disease or diabetes or, you know, high blood pressure just because it runs in your family. You're more predisposed. But the things that you can control are those lifestyle factors, are, you know, looking at how you're taking care of yourself and what you're putting in your body. Those things that we can't control, I mean, we can't do anything about that, but we can look at and take action on lifestyle changes that can help support us or minimize those effects. So there is always that little ray of sunshine at the end of that. So lifelong vitality, I want to kind of dive in there. Like I said at the beginning, supplementation, some people are on board for it, some people aren't sure. You might hear mixed things and mixed information. I think the biggest and most important thing to look at when you're considering supplementation, if you don't already, is quality. Always quality. You want to make sure that you're getting a really, really good supplement that isn't filled with synthetics or fillers or anything like that, so that your body is actually benefiting and absorbing those nutrients that you're putting into it. So what I love about doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality is that it is all derived from food sources. So it's plants, it's vegetables, it's fruits. It's not made in a lab. It's nothing synthetic. So you will not find any fillers or any of that stuff in these supplements. When I was going to school, so I actually just graduated about 5 years ago from Russia. I went back as a mature student. I worked for a supplement store during my undergrad. So I have seen so many different supplements come and go. There are very few supplements out there that are derived from whole foods. So whole foods being your fruits, your vegetables, so dehydrated, getting those nutrients, extracting it. A lot of them do have synthetic fillers or synthetic ingredients that are made in a lab for that mass production. doTERRA does not do that. So just as true as they are to the quality and purity of their essential oils, it is no different, and you're getting no less with these supplements. They are top of the line supplements. They do incorporate some of the oils into them. I'm not going to go into great detail on the ingredients necessarily. I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the benefits. In the chat, I've included a link for a free ebook that doTERRA has that goes into all of the detail that you would need to know about lifelong vitality. So feel free to click on that, or you can find it in your back office or your online customer portal. It has great information. I just don't want to bore you with all the nitty-gritty details. But this nutrient complex, my son and I have been using for probably 4 years now. My son is 18. He takes a half dose of these supplements and absolutely loves them. And he is not one to sugarcoat if something is working for him or not. He says it nicely, of course, but these supplements are a fantastic option to have if you're looking to kind of support and further enhance your health. Gut health is another really vital and important area of our health and well-being. More and more studies are being done on the effects of our gut health and how it ties into that gut-brain connection. Our nutrients are primarily absorbed in our guts. So approximately 80% of your nutrients are actually absorbed right through your gut, through the small intestine, large intestine. Most of those micronutrients, so those smaller, like your vitamins, your minerals, those are your micronutrients. They're absorbed through your intestines. So stomach does its job, goes to the intestine, and that's where that absorption is happening. The bulk of that absorption is happening. So it's really vital that we have a good gut health environment. So in our gut, we have bacteria. We have good bacteria, and we can sometimes have that bad bacteria. We want that good bacteria to flourish. So one way that we could do that is by providing it with probiotics and prebiotics to create that nice healthy environment. And the healthier that environment is, the more our body is able to absorb those nutrients and get them to where they need to go and increase that overall feeling of well-being. Now, if you have any gut health issues, make sure that you're talking to your doctor or a health professional, like if you have a nurse practitioner, doctor, pharmacist. Like if you're on any medications that might be impacted by taking a probiotic, you really want to make sure that you're chatting with them to make sure that it's okay. Yeah, just clear that with your doctor always, or a health professional. I'm not a doctor, so medications, you just always want to double check, right? So doTERRA has a few supplements that really help with supporting our gut health. Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme, so it helps with the breakdown of the foods and the nutrients. So our body naturally produces digestive enzymes. Terrazyme just helps our foods break down just that little bit further, and the more it breaks down and breaks into those little molecules, the better our body can absorb it. Another area is like I mentioned, those probiotics. So PB Assist and PB Assist Junior are the probiotics that doTERRA has to offer. And it definitely helps to have that on a regular basis, like I said, to help create that healthy environment in your gut. But it's also really beneficial. So if you've been on antibiotics recently, that can kind of diminish that healthy gut flora that we need in our intestines. It can help with, we can see on the screen here what damages our gut health. Poor sleeping habits, stress, eating unhealthy on a regular basis, lack of physical activity. So all of these things, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's all encompassing, so they all connect. So those are some really, really great options to start thinking about, maybe incorporating into your daily healthy habits. These are some of the other supplements that doTERRA has to offer. I'm just going to touch on a few of them that I personally use. I use most of these, but not quite all. So I'm just going to share a few of the ones that I also use in my daily routine. So you may have heard of Adaptiv. If you haven't yet, it is a fantastic supplement to have on hand. Whether you deal with anxiety or just that restlessness, or just need something to help you calm through this difficult season that we're in, I would highly recommend Adaptiv Calming Blend. Like it says in the name, it's a calming blend, so it helps to calm and create that nice positive feelings. It helps to support mood, it helps to support just your overall well-being, helps to settle some of those nerves when we feel that tension rising. Personally, I take this at nighttime. Through the day, I'm usually okay. It's at nighttime where I start to get restless and feel like I need a little bit of support there. So Adaptiv is a really wonderful supplement. Turmeric capsules. Turmeric capsules, I'm sure you've heard of turmeric root, turmeric tea, lattes, all that kind of thing. Turmeric root is so high in antioxidants, which help support our cells and inflammatory responses in our body. It's very concentrated in the doTERRA products, and they actually have it double encapsulated so that it really gets into that gut and it really gets into our system really nicely. So this is a wonderful supplement to be taking too. And, you know, we really want to look at those antioxidants that we're getting in our system and in our body, because those are going to help fight off some of those inflammatory responses. It's going to help us with those free radicals that, you know, we are exposed to on a regular basis, and that anti-inflammatory antioxidant component to it is just so incredible to have. Serenity capsules. So these supplements are awesome for bedtime as well. So I take this with like one adaptive, one serenity, and I sleep so wonderfully. When all of this, you know, COVID and quarantining and all of that, working from home, everything started up, about a month in, I really started to notice that my sleep was suffering. And, you know, like I've mentioned numerous times throughout this presentation, sleep is a really important part of our overall health and well-being. So when that starts to suffer, you'll start to notice other areas of our lives and our health start to suffer. Our mood and our ability to adapt and handle stress really starts to diminish. So having sleep support is so crucial to our health and our well-being. So if you're having any difficulty sleeping, I would suggest trying the Serenity capsules. You just take them at nighttime, and yeah, you'll hopefully get a better sleep. There we go. Now this supplement duo, I haven't actually tried the bone nutrient complex. Full disclosure, I haven't. I've heard wonderful things about it. I have used the phytoestrogen though. So why I started using the phytoestrogen and why I think it's a great supplement to incorporate is just around that time of the month when your period's coming, you might start to feel those effects and those hormonal dips. We go through different phases as women with our hormones every single month. So having something to support those mood changes, those hormonal shifts, even the impact of our, you know, the symptoms that we might experience, cramping and tenderness in the breasts and things like that. This combination really helps to kind of minimize those symptoms. I notice a big difference for myself when I don't take it compared to when I do take it. So I just take this in and around my period and my cycle to help diminish some of those effects. And it's all natural ingredients. It has flax, which is really, really important around that time of month because of the nutrients and the omegas that it has to offer, and helps to support those wonderful hormone shifts we get to go through. And if you're, you know, menopausal, premenopausal, these are also fantastic supplements to incorporate. I've heard some women using them for menopause symptoms, and has really benefited them and helped them manage, again, you know, lucky us, we get to go through so many hormonal changes as women. So this is just an example of how you could, you know, take your supplements. So in the morning when you get up, you could take some turmeric, get those antioxidants in there with a PB Assist to, you know, help get that gut health on track for the day. Now, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, it is recommended to take it with a meal. So you could take it at breakfast and lunch and dinner, or your first meal of the day if you're not a big breakfast person, and then later in the day with a snack or a meal. And you would take your Terrazyme again with food as well. And then adaptive, I mean, depending on what you're using it for, some people do take it during the day. I know a friend who can't take it at nighttime because apparently it makes her super focused and really sharp. So it kind of wakes her up. So it has a different impact on everybody. So you can take that in the morning, midday, at bedtime. You kind of, you know, play around with what works for you. And then there's a couple on here that I actually didn't touch on that you can always look up and read about, is the Mito 2 Max. That is a natural supplement to help with energy. So if you're trying to cut back on coffee, but you still need that little boost in the afternoon, Mito 2 Max is a great option. It's caffeine free. And then Yaropalm complex is another supplement that I didn't touch on. I haven't personally used it, so I don't like to speak too much to something that I haven't tried. And then at bedtime, Copaiba and Serenity at nighttime. So this is just a sample of how you could take these supplements and incorporate them into your day. I personally take the Lifelong Vitality with my first meal of the day. And then, like I mentioned, I take Serenity and Adaptive primarily at nighttime. If I'm feeling stressed, I might, take an Adaptive, midday if I feel like I really need it. And just, again, it just helps create that nice, calm, soothing feeling within the body. And again, here's just another example. So if you are looking at, setting up your loyalty reward order, and you want to try all of these supplements, this is an example of what you can place in your order. You can split them up. This is a really nice way to kind of kickstart a wellness routine with your supplements. So you've got the Lifelong Vitality Pack. As you see, it comes in a box. It comes all three together. And then Terrazyme and PB Assist. And then your turmeric, Serenity, and who doesn't love lemon? I mean, add that into your water and you've got that wonderful purifying effect of the water in there. So that sums up what I really wanted to talk about and share with you guys today. I hope that this was of value to you. I hope that you are learning so much through this series on what you can do with your oils and all the different ways that they can support our overall well-being, not just in one area. So there's so much that we can do with these amazing oils to support our health goals and to support the lifestyle that you're wanting to lead through doTERRA. So I thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on, and I hope that that this was of value to you. So that is it for me. And if you weren't able to, click on that link, let someone know. So if you want to connect with your the person that enrolled you, they can shoot it your way. And yeah, that's about it. So take care, everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.